And good afternoon, good evening to all diaspora, yes, and all Jamaicans. Listen, I'm speaking directly to the Jamaican right now. I'm wanting to listen to these things that take place in America at this time and all of the false promises them we make, right? And I can see it start to pop up in Jamaica already. You see much road start fix, much things start ready up for farmer them. The whole of pipeline them start fix up, whole of road them start fix up. All of this, all of these things, people are just for gain back with trust for little short space throughout the election time, and then everything gone back to square one, where our only developer you're going to hear about, right? If you look down a White River at the moment, the little youth them up on the riverside, I do them little hustling. Them lock them down. Even when time them go and do a course and get them license, them still shut them down and push them out and give them date, then give them ultimatum. Jamaica people, we need to understand, say, yo, we need to get rid of them people here. And I can't stress upon it enough. We need to get rid of them people here. Because without we get rid of them people here, it will cause unrest in Jamaica. It's like how you see unrest are going in America right now. The unrest will go on in UK. No make we have it out here. Remember, right? So the government right now, them already have everything what they want. Everybody have both for 15 grand. 15 grand? 15,000? Or 1,500. I don't remember how much them have in minimum wage. But a 15 something. I think about 15 grand. Right? And them are boast about it. Now, which part in Jamaica you can rent one bedroom for 15 grand? Right? Where you can go in a one supermarket, go pick up for 15 grand for last for a week. Especially if you have one little youth. Which part? If you raise the minimum wage and raise it to 115 or 120 grand, yes, you raise it because you can see the problem, you can see this, you can. But you can't come out and a boast on that. The moment you have boast on that, that show you say, yo, you know rate we, you know respect we. And millions you collect a month in time and you give me 115 grand and then you go boast on it like say, well then. And then we Jamaican get up and a jump up and down. Yo, we need to start have more ambition for ourselves. You understand what I say? We need to start. And we can't get up every day and jump up for orange and green and not see nothing out of it. At least now, on the orange side, we can see a leader and we can see some people who decide, say, well, then we are going to make a changes. Right? Everybody are going to go back, well, then did have 18 years. Let's not speak about 18 years. Majority of people nowadays they weren't around in 18 years. So why we are going to talk about 18 years? No, over and in our government they are there from going 9 years now. And we cannot see what they are doing apart from scrape, and a pure conflict of interest are going. Pure conflict of interest. Pure conflict of interest. And nobody in our government cannot look and say, okay, no, listen, this no look good, Can you just step aside and make some investigation go on here, so? Because no look good for the party. Nobody. So that means that everybody blind in it. Ministry of Justice, hey, me want to do this. Oh, I know say Constitution say no. Okay, let us change the Constitution. Let us do this, let us do that. And a disgrace we as Jamaican, and we don't have nobody in our government to stand up and say, enough is enough. So we Jamaican need to stand up and say, listen, enough is enough. And any leader we are going to have a Jamaican, and if they don't show no form of integrity in terms of knowing that somebody where you a command behave in a manner where it's unjustifiable, and you can say, hello, you need to step aside. And you can actually use the Constitution and say, based on the Constitution, you have to step aside. Then we're not going anywhere. Right? See Donald Trump going a window. He wants to change up the whole rules of law and put it around the whole investors. You understand? Jamaican, let us learn off of these mistakes. And I will continuously put them here up on my thing so we can understand the whole thing from a different point. I agree with all of the bloggers them were speaking about what take place in Jamaica. Sometimes we need to step out of Jamaica to understand certain things same way. So I will continuously post these things so we can understand when time you vote for some little liar, why it go bring us. Take it away.
I might lose my farm because of the government.
Oh no. Who's to blame?
Let me introduce you guys to this farmer who is absolutely terrified that he's going to lose his farm after Trump unilaterally paused a Biden-era farm subsidy program. And who would have thought? Who would have thought that making sweeping changes to the federal government at breakneck speeds with no foresight or care in the world actually affects the lives and jobs of millions of voters? I mean, I'm talking about Elon Musk and Donald Trump at the same time. They are both trying to reshape the federal government in their image, and they either don't know about the consequences of their action, or more likely, they just don't care about the consequences of their actions because they're quite insulated from any consequence. I mean, the billionaire president and his billionaire buddies, who are the richest people in the world, aren't going to feel the consequences in the same way that this farmer is. So let's play this video. Make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and let me lay the groundwork by reading this article about how the U.S. Department of Agriculture has frozen farmer funding for some programs and some conservation contracts because it's actually the opposite of what the Trump administration promised. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has frozen some funding for farmers as it goes through a sweeping review, despite assurances from the Trump admin that programs helping farmers would not be affected in the government overhaul. Oh my Lord, the Fell for It Again award. Trump supporters, farmers, Latino Americans keep falling for it. Muslim Americans, every single group that Trump made a promise to has fallen for it in some way and not gotten what they were assured to get. The impact has been wide-ranging and immediate, from cash assistance for ranchers to fix cattle watering systems, to help for corn growers wanting to plant cover crops that curb wind erosion. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is being hurt. Some of the money that has been frozen is tied to environmental conservation programs that were funded by former President Joe Biden's signature climate law, the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act, which included about $19.5 billion for farm programs over 10 years. And what did I say? It turns out that making sweeping changes with no foresight or no care about your consequences actually hurts people. It turns out that, hey, maybe Biden knew what he was doing when he was allocating funds toward this group of farmers and this group of voters. He knew what he was doing. This freeze adds more economic uncertainty for farmers already struggling after several consecutive years of income dragged down by low crop prices. And remember, Trump's tariffs wouldn't hurt. Before we jump into the main video, I love this article because it shows how counterproductive Trump's tariffs are. This article from 2020, from the end of the first Trump term, shows a study that illustrates how 92% of Trump's China tariff proceeds had gone to bail out angry farmers. Meaning, not only does Trump not know how tariffs work, he thinks that other countries pay the tariffs, but when he does impose tariffs on a country like China, 92% of the proceeds that come from domestic companies end up going back into the pockets of farmers in Iowa and other key states after their farms were ruined, after their process got incredibly expensive due to tariffs. 92% of the proceeds went back to farmers to bail them out. What's the point then? If the money just goes back to bail out the people who are angry, what is the point? But let's jump into this video.
I might lose my farm because of the government.
Oh no. Who's to blame?
So they had a program out there called the EQIP program to better conserve farmland for agricultural use. We got a contract with them for $240,000, and we have bought different types of material. We've gotten paid out on some of it, but I now have $80,000 worth of material on me today and said, hey, I know we have this signed contract, we're not going to pay out on it.
I'm still waiting for you to say who's to blame.
And unless they lift this pause on payment, I'm going to lose this farm. The reason that they're not able to hold up the contract is our EQIP program is funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. Because of the executive orders,
Whose executive order did this?
there's a pause or a freeze on the funding through the Inflation Reduction Act, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward. Local farms are going to sink if we don't get traction on this and get those funds unfrozen.
It is weird how you never say who's to blame. But considering the EQIP program was part of the Inflation Reduction Act, and that was brought to us by Biden, and now it's been halted by someone who said throughout the campaign that they wanted to terminate the IRA, I think it's important you say who fucking did it. Because there is one specific administration who's trying to screw you out of that money. And newsflash, it's not the last one. And while, of course, I don't know exactly who you voted for, the fact that you don't actually say who's to blame for this says a lot. And I don't want anyone to lose their livelihood. That's why we've tried to warn you over and over and over again that this is exactly what would happen. Oh, and it might surprise you to know that it's not that they don't have the money to pay you. They just don't want you to have it.
A perfect illustration of where this administration's priorities are. They are trying to create...
All right, people. I would like for you to like and share and even subscribe to more of these. Alright. Anyway, I'm gonna share one next video before they finish. But this time I go down Africa. Yes, I go down Africa. I think so I go Zimbabwe to be exact. And then we are gonna discuss some things. Because guess what? Right now, you don't even need battery in your vehicle to drive a vehicle. You don't need anything. The only thing you need to do is just buy the vehicle, and you're good to go. And these technology them always out there for years, and that's why I know that cancer can be cured without all these whole heap of medication and chemo and this and that. But if then just get one machine.